On November 7, 2025, the South China Sea turned into the most dangerous chessboard on Earth, and the U.S. Navy just found every piece China was hiding. What happened next is a masterclass in how America hunts in the shadows and why Beijing never saw it coming. It starts like any other Wednesday morning. The USS Ralph Johnson, an Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, is conducting routine freedom of navigation operations 120 miles southwest of Taiwan. The crew's been at it for 6 days straight, scanning, tracking, watching. Coffee's brewing. Radar operators are on hour 3 of their watch. Then, at 0847 local time, a petty officer notices something off on his SPY-6 radar display. A thermal anomaly. Water temperatures reading 2.3 degrees cooler than surrounding areas. It's subtle. Most systems would miss it, but the SPY-6 doesn't miss anything. Within 90 seconds, that anomaly becomes 12 distinct underwater contacts, then 18, then 24. They're not moving, they're waiting. Submarines, diesel electrics running silent at 400 feet, positioned in a perfect crescent formation across Taiwan's southern approaches. But here's where it gets interesting. The destroyers. AN Segiku-89 sonar system picks up something else. Surface contacts trying to mask their signatures. Freighters, cargo ships. Except these commercial vessels are running in precise military formations, each one exactly 3,000 meters apart. Their hulls are reading wrong. Too dense, too uniform. The Ralph Johnson's commanding officer knows exactly what she's looking at. China's Little Blue Men fleet. Military vessels disguised as civilian ships, each one carrying armor, troops, and anti-ship missiles. And they're not alone. At 0852, a P-8 Poseidon patrol aircraft 40,000 feet above receives new tasking. Its APY-10 radar begins synthetic aperture scanning. The results come back in 4 minutes. 27 additional fishing vessels are converging from 3 different directions, all headed toward the same 50-square-mile patch of ocean. The commander makes the call that changes everything. Contact 7th Fleet. Tell them we found it. We found the invasion fleet. Here's where America shows why it owns the ocean. Within 8 minutes, the data from Ralph Johnson hits the Distributed Common Ground System at Yokota Air Base in Japan. Artificial intelligence algorithms cross-reference the contacts with 3 weeks of satellite imagery. Bingo. Those fishing boats weren't fishing. They've been staging in Fujian province ports, loading equipment at night. Simultaneously, a Virginia-class submarine, the USS Illinois, sitting 80 miles east and running silent at 600 feet, goes active. Its TB-34 thin-line towed array, a 2,600-foot cable packed with hydrophones, picks up cavitation patterns from 47 different propellers. The AI identifies each one: Type 039A submarines, Type 054A frigates, and Type 071 amphibious assault ships. The picture's complete. This isn't a drill. This is 63 vessels, the largest Chinese naval concentration since 1949, preparing for a Taiwan blockade. At 0904, the Pentagon activates Pacific Sentinel Protocol. It's never been used before. Here's what it does. 3 E-2D Advanced Hawkeyes launch from the USS Ronald Reagan, 240 miles northeast. Their AN/APY-9 radars can track 2,000 targets simultaneously out to 345 miles. They create an electronic dome over the entire operating area. Nothing moves without America knowing. 2 EA-18G Growlers spin up their ALQ-99 jamming pods. Within minutes, every Chinese radar from Hainan Island to the Taiwan Strait starts seeing ghosts, false returns, phantom aircraft, targets that don't exist. Chinese fire control systems begin tracking clouds. But the real magic? 5 MQ-4C Triton drones, each one the size of a 737, begin high-altitude ISR orbits. Their sensors can identify the make and model of a ship from 60,000 feet. They're taking photographs detailed enough to read hull numbers. Everything's being cataloged, recorded, documented. Here's what China doesn't know. There aren't 1, but 4 Virginia-class submarines in the area. They've been there for 6 days, hiding in thermal layers, waiting. At 0921, they move into blocking positions. Each submarine carries 12 Mach 48 torpedoes, wire-guided, 650 pounds of explosive, range of 28 miles. They can sink anything China has. The submarines establish gate positions at every exit route from the area. Any Chinese vessel that tries to leave will have to pass within 8 miles of a Virginia-class sub. The message is clear without firing a shot. You're not leaving. By 10:17, the cavalry arrives. The USS Chang'un, another Arleigh Burke destroyer, plus the USS Mobile Bay, a Ticonderoga-class cruiser with 122 vertical launch cells, take up positions flanking the Ralph Johnson. They create a triangle of death, overlapping fields of fire covering 18,000 square miles. Their AN-SPY 1D radars are locked on every Chinese vessel. Fire control solutions are computed, updated every 2.3 seconds. They're not aiming, they're waiting. Each destroyer carries 96 missiles. SM-6s for air defense with 240-mile range. Tomahawks for land attack. Harpoons for anti-ship work. That's 288 missiles total pointing at 63 Chinese ships. But here's the beautiful part. The part that makes China's admirals sweat. Above the fleet, an F-35C from the Reagan orbits at 35,000 feet, completely invisible to Chinese radar. Its APG-81 ASA radar is feeding real-time targeting data to every U.S. platform. It sees everything. The pilot isn't even turning his radar on full power, just pinging, passively collecting electromagnetic signatures. At 10:47, the USS Ralph Johnson does something extraordinary. It transmits unencrypted on maritime distress frequencies. In Mandarin, Chinese vessels, you are engaged in unsafe navigation in international waters. U.S. Navy is monitoring all 63 vessels in your formation. Recommend immediate return to port. 63. The exact number. China didn't announce this operation.
It was supposed to be secret.
The U.S. just told them, "We see all of you." Panic on Chinese channels. Encrypted burst transmissions light up. Beijing's asking commanders, how do they know our numbers? At 11:34, Chinese vessels begin turning northwest. The submarines go deep, running for the Luzon Strait. The fishing boats scatter. The amphibious ships reverse course at full speed. By 1200, the invasion fleet that took China 3 weeks to assemble dissolves in 3 hours. 0 shots fired, 0 casualties. Just pure, overwhelming information dominance. The Ralph Johnson's crew watches them go on radar. One by one, the contacts fade beyond 100 miles, then 150, then 200. The commanding officer allows herself one smile. Her crew just prevented a war, so why did China blink? 3 reasons, yos. Information dominance. The U.S. didn't just find the fleet, it identified every single vessel, classified every submarine, and computed every firing solution before China knew they'd been spotted. That SPY-6 radar on the Ralph Johnson? It's 35 times more sensitive than previous systems. It can detect a stealth fighter at 340 miles. China's submarines never had a chance. Layered surveillance. China prepared for satellites. They didn't prepare for the sensor web, P-8 aircraft, submarines with towed arrays, surface ships, drones, all feeding data into one artificial intelligence system that creates a real-time picture of the ocean. It's like having X-ray vision for 3 million square miles. Escalation control. Notice what the U.S. didn't do. No weapons free. No targeting radars lit up. Just quiet professional tracking. The message was, we can destroy you whenever we want, but we'd rather not. That's deterrence in its purest form. China spent 3 weeks assembling this fleet in secret. The U.S. Navy found it, tracked it, and stopped it in under 3 hours, without firing a shot. That's not luck. That's 80 years of naval aviation, submarine warfare, and sensor technology coming together at the exact moment it mattered most. So here's the question. If China couldn't hide its biggest naval operation in decades, what else can't they hide? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you want to see how U.S. submarines actually hunt Chinese vessels, hit that subscribe button, because that story's even crazier.